We hope you enjoyed tonight's dinner service, and once again, we thank CWU Catering for its service and for the wonderful meal. As I mentioned, we will keep the bidding open for the silent auction items until our intermission later on this evening. At this time, I would like to introduce our university president, Dr. Jim Wolpart. Dr. Wolpart is concluding his second year as the 15th president of Central Washington University. Dr. Wolpart, we welcome you to the podium for some opening remarks.
Thank you, Jonathan, for hosting us so well tonight. This is a fantastic evening. It's so good to see this room full. It's a little bit warm. I'm not going to complain about that because it's so much fun to see so many Wildcats in this room. Thank you for coming to honor our Hall of Fame inductees, but also thank you for coming back to join what is a vibrant campus community, students, faculty, and staff all across the campus. While you all have been here for the last few days, on the break, I was talking to a student who was working on one of his papers out in the lobby. I know that one of the things that everybody has been asking about is how's Central doing, especially with things like enrollment. Our enrollment dipped like every other public university across the nation. Our freshman class went from about 2,000 students down to about 1,450. We are coming back. Last year we had 1,550, and this coming fall it looks like we'll be back to about 1,800 or 1,900 freshmen. We've been doing some very intentional things that will start showing up even more this coming fall, including a brand new website. I don't know if you spend any time on our website. It's hard to navigate, let me just say it that way. A brand new website and a whole new marketing program that will spread the really remarkable things that we do here at Central across the state and also into places like Texas where we now play football, right, in the Lone Star Conference. How about this? We recruited 25 new freshmen to come to Central just because we were playing football in Texas last year. And if you haven't been on campus in a while, it looks very different. Even in the last several years, it's changed a lot. We opened our new health sciences building last fall. That was about a $60 million project. And we are renovating Nicholson Pavilion, another $60 million project that is going to change the face of everything we do in Wildcat athletics. We're also on the cusp of having some really fantastic renovation projects approved by the state. I'm not sure what was in the water in Olympia this year, but we will have, we think, approved $103 million brand new humanities and social science building that we will break grounds on this fall. If you spent any time in language and literature or Farrell Hall, you know that they've been kind of sinking into the ground. Our faculty say they don't sit in their chairs that have the wheels on them because they roll across their office. So it'll be good to take those two buildings down. We'll also be building a multicultural complex in the next couple of years. 43% of our students come from diverse backgrounds. We're the only campus that doesn't have a multicultural complex for those students to gather in a safe space. So that's one of the other things we will be working on the next couple of years. And then after that, a brand new psychology and mental health building, and then a brand new arts complex. That's what will happen hopefully over the next 6 to 8 years. What's wonderful about being at this institution, and this is something that all of you participate in and know about, you've experienced this, is that the investment of the state is matched by the investment of our faculty, our staff, our students, and our coaches in each other and in the learning and growing that happens here on campus. Here's a few highlights from this last year, just in case you weren't paying attention. This is remarkable to me coming out of academics. This last year, Central Washington University Athletics won the 2021-2022 GNAC Academic All-Sport Award. That is the highest average GPA of all of our students combined in the GNAT conference. We have a really remarkable learning resource center. Mal Stuman is in the audience someplace. He was the director. We do some great things with our student athletes. Mal has moved over to the Diversity and Equity Center and is doing some great work with our students of color. This is the second year in a row that Central has won that honor. And I looked back at the list. We weren't on the list that was 20 years old. We've won it 2 years in a row now. We're going to keep that going because these are student athletes. Volleyball qualified for its 10th consecutive NCAA championship appearance and beat Western Washington in the first round. Boom! What an amazing game. Football finished second in their first year as part of the Lone Star Conference. We're only going to get better as we have a presence in Texas, and that opens the door for recruiting. Chris is doing an amazing job building out the coaching team. We got to experience some of that today. What a beautiful afternoon to be out watching some football. Women's basketball made their second consecutive trip to the NCAA tournament. Amazing coaching by Randy. Football's Patrick Rogers and volleyball's Emma Dowd-Aubert, both of whom you'll hear from tonight, earned All-America honors. Joining Patrick and Emma are volleyball student athletes Tia and Dia and Ashley Kaufman, who were named All-American by the American Volleyball Coaches Association. And how about rugby? Our men's team was third in the nation. Now, you all likely know this. We don't play D2 rugby. We play D1 rugby. We play the best teams in the nation. Our men's rugby team was third in the nation, and our women's rugby team was fourth in the nation. We were down in Houston playing sevens in the national championship. Both teams won the first game and then lost the third against one of the best teams in the nation. So what an amazing, now I don't really understand rugby, so I'm probably not saying things right, but fun to watch. All right, so I'll spend just a little bit of time talking about one player in particular, because this player will be here in several years. Samantha Bowman, our women's basketball star, was named first team all-conference, conference player of the year, first American all-conference, and NC Division II player of the year. Sam finished her career as a two-time D2 All-American. She led the country in rebounding for the second straight season. She averaged 14.9 rebounds per game, went over 1,000 rebounds for her career. Her scoring average was 22.2 points, sixth in the nation. She registered a double-double in 26 of her 30 games. And we just found out this week that she is the champion for rebounds per game and double-doubles in NCAA Division II. Sam is now playing professionally in Australia, and at some point she will be here, and that'll be fun to welcome her back. I mentioned this at the start, the team and individual success that is matched on the court and the pitch and the field is also matched in the classroom. Every one of our programs earned a cumulative GPA of over 3.0. And the cumulative for the team as a whole was a 3.289. That's really remarkable for our student athletes. One of the things that I always watch is what happens when a player comes off the court or off the field or off the pitch, and what happens in that interaction between that player and that coach. And that's when you can see the magic happen, because one of the things that you see in our coaches is that they're not just interested in winning. They're not just interested in that player being a better player, although if they make mistakes, they always talk to them about how they can do things better and different. What they're interested in is that young person's journey in life and the kind of person that they are becoming. And as that coach interacts with that student athlete, you can see that deep care for those student athletes as people, as human beings, becoming individuals who will go out in the world, like all of you, and make a difference. That's a really remarkable thing about what happens here at Central Washington University Athletics. I ran into Randy after Sam had played her first game in Australia, and she had gotten up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch the game. That's the kind of dedication that our coaches have for our students. Tonight we're here to honor this year's inductees. To our inductees who are in the room, to be inducted into Central Washington University's Hall of Fame is a recognition of your special contribution to Wildcat athletics as a student athlete, as a student, as an alum, and as a citizen in the world. If you didn't buy your gear while you were here, please buy your gear and wear it proudly. Tonight we honor you in this special ceremony. And as a ceremony, we were reminded that what ceremonies do is they bring us together in community. Ceremonies remind us who we are, what we value, what our commitments are, what our traditions are. They provide us a moment to pause from our very busy lives, to take time out and reflect on what matters most to us, what matters deeply to us as individuals and as a community. And we take time to honor that intentionally. Athletics Hall of Fame inductee ceremonies are about honoring those individuals and teams who made a mark, but it's also about more than that. You all have had your share of sitting in on these ceremonies. Every athlete will always say, it wasn't about me. It was about the coaches. It was about the trainers. It was about the other players. I'm up here maybe getting this award, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people around me. We're reminded tonight that we don't do anything great alone. We are always a part of something much bigger. And when we join together and recognize that bigger thing, we can achieve at levels that we never expected. So tonight we will honor these inductees, but we will also honor that bigger thing that every one of us is a part of. Central Washington University, the Wildcat Nation, the coaches and teams that surrounded all of these players, and the institution that supported them. And as we look to the future, we will deepen our commitment as an institution to this Wildcat spirit that brings us here tonight. We have, as an institution, an enormous opportunity before us, providing access to higher education that makes a difference in individuals' lives, their families' lives, and their communities' lives. That opportunity is a responsibility. Today we honor everybody who has come together. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to this university and to our athletics program. And go Wildcats!
Our next speaker is currently wrapping up his 10th year as the Director of Athletics at Central Washington University. Since June 2013, Dr. Dennis Francois has guided the Wildcat Athletic Department to new heights, both on and off the field, court, or course, helping to make sure that CWU joins the elite NCAA Division II programs on the West Coast and in the country. Among the many enhancements that have taken place with Wildcat Athletics over the past decade are the facility improvements, first Tomlinson Stadium and the relocation of the track and field facilities to a new on-campus location, and now the ongoing renovations to the Nicholson Pavilion complex. These improvements have been spearheaded by the leadership of Dr. Francois. He will now join us for a few words.
Hoping they'd keep that slide up there and show I grew some hair during that time, but it wasn't the case, so I apologize. First of all, I want to thank Dr. Wolpart. It is awesome to have great leadership at this university, and I've been blessed with two wonderful presidents that truly care about athletics, They know what athletics does not only for the student athlete, but also what athletics does for the university. And that is what is really special, that we can be a beacon of pride for this university. And I think we'll see a lot of that here tonight. So good evening and welcome to the 2023 Wildcat Gala and Athletics Hall of Fame. We have a packed house tonight, so I will try to keep my comments somewhat brief. But there's so many people that we need to thank who have made this night possible. First and foremost, we are here to celebrate the accomplishments of our 3 individual and team Hall of Fame inductees. Their contributions to the history of Wildcat athletics are well documented and well deserved. We also know that in order to produce and continue to produce future Hall of Famers, we need to continue to invest in the Central student athlete experience. We need to grow our resources, keep recruiting the brightest and best student athletes to Central Washington University. Student athletes like Adam Bighill, Kristen Willis, Carolyn Mires, and the individuals on the 1989 football team who will stand on this stage tonight just as they did 12, 21, 22, and 30 plus years. I won't say exactly what that is. That's when they donned the crimson and black and wore that with pride, and hopefully that pride is continuing today, especially a day like today. In order to compete at the highest level, we ask our student athletes to push themselves beyond what they think is possible, both physically and mentally. And as alum and supporters of Wildcat athletics, we also need to push ourselves beyond our comfort zone. Dare to dream, just as we did 10 years ago when we talked about the Wildcat Commons project. So many people said, and we'll see if that ever happens. But with the support of everybody in this room, we did make that happen. With the Wildcat Commons Phase 1, the renovation of our stadium, $4.5 million, and of course the installation of our new track and field complex, which is about $8+ million. So those are huge projects, but also as Dr. Wolpart mentioned, we have a $60 million plus project going on right now that is going to change the face of Wildcat athletics. These enhancements will continue to have a profound impact on the experience of our student athletes, but also our student body, our fans, our corporate partners, our great university as a whole, and the community of Ellensburg. These improvements are proof that when we work in collaboration towards a common vision, great things can and do happen. Therefore, in addition to recognizing the athletic careers of our Hall of Fame inductees, tonight's program will also include philanthropic opportunities for you to ensure that Wildcat athletics will continue to produce future Hall of Famers. I want to extend my congratulations to all of tonight's Hall of Fame inductees and those of you attending tonight's ceremony in support of this great honor. Before we recognize our event sponsors, I want to thank a few of our members of our athletics department, coaches, staff. How about everybody raise their hand, coaches and staff of Wildcat Athletics? Each of these individuals plays a very important role in creating a positive student-athlete experience, the culture within their department or within their program, not only through their actions, but also through the individuals they recruit to represent CWU athletics and their respective teams. So thank you so much for all you do for the impact that you have on our university and our student athletes. I would also like to acknowledge and thank members of our Hall of Fame committee. And if you just raise your hand or stand up, you could do that, please. Ken Kladnick, who is our chair. Gene Adams, who you'll hear from tonight. Ethan Bergman, who's our faculty athletic rep. Caleb Montgomery. Caleb is in his first year as our administrative assistant, and it's baptism by fire with this event, but he is doing an awesome job of his first year in this, so thank you, Caleb. Also, Laura Dalby Nicolai. Laura is our Associate Athletic Director for Compliance and is highly organized, which is good. Blake Patterson, our Sports Information. Jonathan Gordon, also a committee member. Josh Wetzler, our Associate AD for External, and did this slideshow. Chris James, our Director for Development. And also one of our graduate assistants who has just been instrumental in doing so many things, and that's Sean Gordon. Where is Sean at? Sean is a former football student athlete here, just played his last season this past year, and an unbelievably bright young man, mechanical engineering, I think, but he said, I want to be in athletics. So he is going to pursue a career in athletics and is just doing a phenomenal job. So thank you all for your hard work, and especially all the work that goes into making tonight a night to remember. I would also like to acknowledge our string quartet. Carmela McCracken, Fernando Flores, Catherine Sartori, and Lorenzo Anchiano. It is amazing to see not only our student athletes putting in that time, energy, and effort to be better, to hone their skills, to sharpen their craft, but when you hear those individuals play and perform tonight, it's just like our student athletes. They put a ton of time, energy, and hours into their skill and their practice. So it is awesome. I went to an Italian opera on campus a couple weeks ago with our musical students, and it was phenomenal. So, and a couple of Italian names there, so it's great to try to pronounce those. Finally, I want to take this opportunity to thank our Master of Ceremonies, Jonathan Gordon. As Jonathan mentioned, he was our Sports Information Director for a long time and really adds a lot to the recognition of our inductees, many of which he actually was here during their time. So with our sponsor recognition, it is a great pleasure to recognize a number of long-standing partners of Wildcat Athletics as our Hall of Fame sponsors. So could representatives of Kittitas Valley Healthcare, Starline Luxury Coaches, Kirkham Law, Orthopedics Northwest, and Iron Horse Brewery please join us on the stage? It's a pleasure to recognize for the 8th year in a row Kittitas Valley Healthcare as our title sponsor of tonight's event. KVH, as most of us know them, has been an anchor in our community. Since opening its doors on December 29th, 1964, slightly before I was born, KVH has been serving the healthcare needs of the Ellensburg community and the greater Kittitas Valley. Consistently voted one of the top 20 critical access hospitals in the nation by the National Rural Healthcare Association, KVH is one of the gems of Ellensburg. As Ellensburg's second largest employer, KVH has had a major impact within our community while meeting the acute and long-term needs of our residents of Kittitas Valley. The mere presence of KVH in our community also allows us, as a university and other employers, to attract some of the most talented universities to our university and our community as a whole. Representing KVH tonight, is Zane Davies. Zane is actually an athletic trainer by trade. So Zane, on behalf of Central Washington University, please accept this small token of appreciation for KVH's sponsorship of tonight's event. Starline Luxury Coaches. They have been a longtime partner of Wildcat Athletics. They're the company that gets our teams and our student athletes and our coaches from competition safely at all times of the day and night and in all types of weather. Previously A&A Motor Coach, Starline has been the official charter service provider of CWU Athletics for the last 34 years. Although the name and ownership has changed, the level of service, safety, and care for our student athletes and coaches has not. Representing Starline Luxury Coaches is Gladys Gillis, a member of our Board of Trustees as well. Gladys, please accept this gift in recognition of Starline's sponsorship of tonight's Hall of Fame. Next, I'd like to recognize Orthopedics Northwest. As the official team orthopedics physicians of Wildcat Athletics, Orthopedics Northwest is responsible for the care of the majority of our student athletes when they have the unfortunate need of orthopedic surgery. I want to thank Orthopedics Northwest for the timely and professional care they provide our student athletes at a time when many of them are questioning their ability to continue and fully recover and compete in the sport they love. Representing Orthopedics Northwest is Dr. Thomas Kennedy. Dr. Kennedy, please accept this gift as a recognition of our appreciation for Orthopedics Northwest sponsorship. Next is a sponsorship that many of you have enjoyed this evening and last night, Iron Horse Brewery. So, born and brewed right here in Ellensburg, Iron Horse Brewery continues to make its mark on the craft beer world in the Pacific Northwest. And I believe you're the seventh largest producer? Seventh largest producer of beer in the state of Washington. Maybe number 6 after this weekend. I want to thank owners Greg and Gary Parker and Dane Williams and all the other staff for all they do to support CWU athletics. Representing Iron Horse Brewery is Dane Williams. Dane, thank you so much, and please accept this as a gift of our appreciation. Thank you, sir. Last but certainly not least is Kirkham Law. Owned and operated by CWU graduate and attorney James Kirkham Jr., Kirkham Law specializes in criminal defense and will and estate planning, providing an excellent service and a people-friendly approach to all of its clients. As a Central graduate, James understands the impact athletics has on our university and the impact CWU has on the community of Ellensburg. Wildcat Athletics is proud to have James Kirkham and Kirkham Law as one of our regular corporate partners. And representing Kirkham Law tonight is James Kirkham himself. James, please accept this plaque as a small token of our appreciation. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for all of our sponsors tonight, KVH, Iron Horse Brewery, Orthopedics Northwest, Kirkham Law, and Starline Luxury Coaches. Thank you so much. In addition to these very special sponsors tonight, I also want to say thanks to our individual table sponsors. Many of you here in this room have sponsored a table and invited 7 of your best friends. So thank you so much for that. I would also like to thank our Wildcat Club Board of Directors, many of which are here, and all of the individuals who generously donated items for both our silent auction as well as our live auction. So thank you so much. I now have the pleasure of introducing a person that's had a huge impact on Wildcat Athletics. Gene and Joe Adams have done amazing things for our university, the School of Business. Both have served on our foundation board, and Gene is now our president of our Wildcat Athletic Association and has overseen some of the greatest growth that we've had as an association and all of those monies that go to support Wildcat Athletics. So I would like to welcome to the stage Gene Adams.
I know I don't have Jonathan's voice, but give it a shot here. How do I make this? I'll get it to stay up.
Speak over it, sorry.
Okay. You want to, yeah, maybe. I can't get it to. Thanks. Yeah, it's good. Well, Good evening. As Dennis mentioned, my name is Jean Adams, and I'm the president of the Wildcat Athletic Association. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate this year's inductees. After reading your bios, you make us all proud to be Wildcats. I would also like to thank everyone for coming to tonight's Hall of Fame induction. And I'd like to just give ourselves a clap here. This is always such a fun and exciting event and a great way to honor our inductees for their many accomplishments at Central Washington University. As president of the Wildcat Athletic Association, one of our main goals, besides the fundraising arm for Wildcat Athletics, is to engage and reconnect our alumni with our great university. And with today's induction, your connection with Central Washington University will further be cemented into the history books. So on behalf of the Wildcat Athletic Association, I would like to congratulate you on your induction into the Central Washington University Hall of Fame. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Wolpart, Dr. Francois, and to Jean for your remarks and all that you do for the leadership of CWU and Wildcat Athletics. Now it's time to induct 3 individuals and 1 team into this year's class of the CWU Athletics Hall of Fame. Our first inductee this evening was an integral part of the Wildcats' transition from the ranks of the NAIA to the NCAA Division II in the sport of women's basketball. Kristen Willis was a 4-year starting guard for the Wildcats from 1997 through 2001, following a standout high school career at Kamiakin High School in Kennewick. After joining the CWU program, she proceeded to start her first 86 collegiate appearances and had her name called among the starting 5 in 97 of the 102 games in which she played over those 4 seasons. She helped Central put its name on the map among D2 teams right away upon the school's transition to the NCAA ranks during her sophomore season, and the Wildcats made their first trips to the national tournament during Kristen's final 2 years. Kristen's best season was her junior campaign, in which she averaged 13 points per game and posted career best percentages in field goal shooting, 3-point shooting, and free throws. She was a first-team All-Pacific West Conference selection and an honorable mention All-Little Northwest pick, and she ranked among the NCAA Division II leaders and was second in the Pac-West in steals. Now, some 22 years since playing her final collegiate game, Kristen remains the school record holder for steals in a career with 265. She is second on the all-time assist list with 378, and in free throws made with 363, and her 455 rebounds are 10th on the school's career list. She also finished with 951 points, which is 14th all-time. Since graduating from Central in December 2001 with a degree in elementary education, Kristen has taught for 20 years, first as a second grade teacher, and more recently in her current role as an elementary PE teacher. She also coached high school basketball for 6 seasons. She lives in Kennewick with her husband of 17 years, Steve, and their 2 sons, Tanner and Cooper. Ladies and gentlemen, our first inductee into the 2023 Central Washington University Athletics Hall of Fame, Kristen Willis Davis.
Well, the good news is the lights are bright, so I can't see very many of you. And so the school teacher and me wrote a few notes. So first I would like to say thank you to the committee for selecting me to be a member of the Hall of Fame. I was totally cut off and honored that my name was even in the conversation. I'd also like to send a congratulations to Carolyn, Adam, and the football team for their induction as well. When I arrived at Central, we were just transitioning to D2, and I laugh because he stole part of my speech, but that's okay. So the two memories that stand out the most to me my freshman year as we were doing that is we went to Montana State Billings, and it was a televised game. We thought we were big time, and they killed us by 40. It was a very humbling experience, and I looked at my sister, who I got to play with my freshman year, and said, I think I've made a mistake. And thankful that I didn't choose to quit when it got hard, because to recap my freshman year, a highlight was going to LC State and playing against a team who had recruited me and wasn't very kind to us when they beat us early in the season, and they had a packed house, and we were able to beat them, and they threw a fit, stormed off the court, and we got to celebrate on their court. So that was pretty special in my time. Over the next 3 years, I was blessed to play with some pretty amazing teammates. Not only did we have some fun times off the court together, as I heard some of the football team maybe was visiting the TAV lately, but we also were able to build a tight-knit family on the court. That connection and a lot of hard work allowed us to qualify for the national tournament my last 2 seasons. And although we had dreams of doing better at the tournament, I left feeling we had given it our all and grown the program to a better place. And I had made some lifelong friends that I truly treasure them for helping me grow as a person and a teammate, and they're dear to me to this day. In closing, I'd like to give a special thanks to Coach Whitney for taking a chance on me when I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do for the next step in my life, and pushing me to always be better than I knew I could be. Thanks to Coach Haas. She was the coach that you knew always had your back, loved you like your own kid, but scared the crap out of you all at the same time. So thank you, Coach Haas. It's the coach I strive to be. Thanks to Coach Mike Burns. He mostly was with the men's program, but did a little mentorship with the women's. And I was always connected to him because of his passion for defense. And some of my fond memories with him were when we'd run a set of lines, I would finish first. He'd follow me to the drinking fountain and say, I know you were dogging it. Leaders don't dog it, you can be better. And I'm so thankful for that kind of a mentality that was instilled by the coaches here. Teresa Miller, who I know recently was inducted as well, she always made us feel special. She would go above and beyond to take care of us. This was back when we shared the same locker room with the opposing team. Those of you who were here, right? Girls, volleyball girls, we also shared the same lockers, so we waited for your season to get over. So Teresa had a way of making us feel special. And I also got to be one of Teresa's early students, workers, and we had some really good laughs trying to learn how to line the football field with the paint. So I also would like to thank my parents for as long as I can remember, instilling us we could do anything we set our minds to with a little hard work and hustle. They always modeled for family first and spent countless hours, miles, and dollars to support my sister and I. They never seemed to miss a moment. As a mom of 2 boys playing sports, I appreciate my parents even more now. And yes, they never miss a moment of their grandkids' events either. Special thanks to my husband and boys for being here today. I know they love to dress up in fancy clothes and come to these kind of events. And once again, thank you to the committee and Central Washington University for this great opportunity, and to my teammates that I hope someday maybe are being the first D2 team will get us a fun weekend together as teammates here in Ellensburg. So thank you, and go Wildcats.
Our next inductees have gone down in Central Washington University history as one of the most accomplished teams to step foot on the Tomlinson Stadium turf. The 1989 football team became the 4th Wildcat Gridiron squad to qualify for the postseason, and the 4th team in a 6-year span to participate in the NAIA playoffs. Still one of the most dominant squads in more than 100 seasons of Wildcat football, the 1989 team steamrolled most of its regular season and postseason opponents, outscoring 9 regular season foes by a combined 304 points to 77. The only blemish on that regular season from being a perfect record was a 24-all tie against rival Pacific Lutheran University in week 4 of the campaign. In the playoffs, CWU opened with a 51-0 shutout over Lewis and Clark College of Portland. The Wildcats then followed with a 49-7 triumph over Dickinson State before ultimately falling to the eventual national champion Westminster College of Pennsylvania by a score of 21-10 in the national semifinals. 6 of the student athletes on the 1989 football team have already been inducted into the CWU Athletics Hall of Fame as individuals. 70 of the 97 student athletes on that roster earned at least 1 degree from Central Washington University, and we've got 47 of them here tonight. Among the individual standouts on the team were 4 All-Americans. Defensive lineman Mike Patton and running back Pat Patterson were first-team selections, while defensive back Leo Jacobs and offensive lineman Jeff Hash were honorable mention picks. Eric Granberg and Al Kesty were NAIA academic All-Americans, and 7 players earned all Mount Rainier League honors. Statistically, Pat Patterson, who was voted as the team's most valuable player, was one of the offensive catalysts, running for nearly 1,500 yards and 19 touchdowns in 9 regular season games, then adding 569 more yards and 8 scores in 3 postseason games. And that was back in the day where regular season and postseason stats were kept separate. So that's over 2,000 yards if you did the quick math. Ken Stradley quarterbacked the Wildcats for most of the 1989 season, while the defense was led by the likes of linebackers Tracy McKenzie and Mark Yantz, Mike Patton, and Leo Jacobs. They finished as the top 4 tacklers during the '89 campaign. This team was coached by the late Hall of Famer Mike Dunbar, with assistance from several individuals, including Scott Ricardo, Bruce Walker, John Pica, Doug Atkins, Charles Chandler, Ken Wilson, and I may have left somebody off the list. At this time, we'd like to welcome the 1989 football team to start making its way to the stage. The 3 captains are Scott Ditter, John Bauer, and Mike Patton. Scott and John will speak to you this evening. Our next inductees into the Hall of Fame, the 1989 football team. I think, yeah, let's wait till they're all up here, but yeah, maybe if you guys make sure and everybody else can just kind of slide down this way. What's the weight limit of this stage? We'll find out. You have insurance? You have insurance, right? We're gonna load test this, aren't we? We're gonna load test this? And by the way, our stats about the top. Yes, they are. I hate that shit. Get in front. Scott's up. All right. 2,000 yards. Here we go. No one can see it. Very important. Scott.
I just want to start by making sure there are no fire marshals in the building, so the weight limit on this stage we take care of. On behalf of John and Mike, we humbly stand before you in representing the 1989 team as inductees into the Hall of Fame. It's amazing to be here and certainly worth the wait, and we have quite a list of people that we'd like to thank. First of all, Dennis Francois, when he called us about this, it was a joyful phone call, and getting a hold of Mike and John and sharing that news with them, it was quite a moment. Ken Kladnick, who has been amazing with communication. Ken, thank you so much. Caleb Montgomery, your communication has been outstanding throughout the last several months, and getting these guys here and everything. And then the rest of the Hall of Fame committee. There's a long list. You saw them on the board, and we thank you all. Couldn't go any further without thanking our coaching staff, some of which are here tonight, but without them, we couldn't have pulled off what we pulled off in '89. I'd like to start with the mastermind, the late Mike Dunbar. Coach Dunbar was a catalyst for really welding and forging this group together, and Lord knows that we needed that over the years. He took a chance on several of us over the years, and sometimes I know there were some difficult conversations and some challenging conversations with probably each and every one of us at some point up here to just be better people so that our game could be better. Doug Adkins, as mentioned, Bruce Walker, I think Bruce is here with us, Scott Ricardo, who's here with us, Ken Wilson, Larry Bullock, Charles Chandler, John Pica, Ken Mattia Jr., and Lon Moore. Also would like to thank Gary Smith, known as Powell, and we're talking a little bit about it today, and we were talking about really how we stayed fairly healthy over the '89 season, and I'm not sure if it was because of Powell's practice or we were just afraid to go in the training room. As I said before, they brought us together. This is quite a cast of characters you have on the stage tonight. And we were in 1988 and 1989, and it hasn't changed 34 years later. But one of the greatest things I think Coach Dunbar was able to do for us is he allowed us to be ourselves. In a time when really it was about dominant control from a head coaching standpoint, he did that to an extent, but he let each and every one of us be who we were. And in that, we sure appreciated that leadership and from the coaching staff and be able to just play. There weren't a lot of warm fuzzies during practice, as we all knew. It was challenging. He took us to a place where he challenged us, created an atmosphere of hard work and commitment. And that's what made us successful as a team. So we thank them for that. We already mentioned earlier about what it means to be a Hall of Famer. We had great success on the scoreboard, in the national playoffs, in the national ranking. We had great individual players, several Hall of Fame members. 19 of us were all-conference in some capacity. I think several backups were all-conference players on this squad. But tonight isn't about necessarily the individuals, but it's about the people. It's about the team and the shared experience that we had in 1989. This team embodied those traits of great teams, things like a pursuit of a common goal and a shared vision, trust and respect in the value of differences between us, a collective responsibility, knowing our roles and understanding them and really kind of acting those out as we went. Working through conflicts, and we knew we had conflicts, but we were great at getting through those. It was an us over me mentality. It was always about the team, and we know that Pat wanted to touch a ball every snap. But Pat was competitive enough just to understand it had to be about us. And of course, great leadership. And I think, you know, representing Mike and John and I would probably all say, yeah, we were titled team captains, but there's an amazing amount of leaders on this team right now, on this stage. So a couple of thoughts as John and I talked a little bit about what we're going to say tonight. Personally, there were two things that really came to mind about this team. Number one, the competition. From the time we showed up in August camp to the time we sat in the stadium at Sparks after the loss of Westminster, that whole time, I think we learned a big lesson in '88 when we went to Carroll, Montana and got kicked in the teeth. I think our goal, our vision was about being competitive and about attacking every single day we had in this opportunity for us seniors, the last opportunity we have to play football. But we were focused on that common goal. On the practice field, you couldn't have more competition than what we had at Central Washington University. When we had our best on best, they were the best two teams in the nation on the field at that time. And it was difficult and it was challenging, and that's what made us great. We developed that toughness and confidence that nobody else could match. And there was a no doubt type of confidence when we walked on the field on Saturday because we'd already gone through it during the week and competed at the highest level. Times got testy. Sometimes there was fights, but when it came right down to it, the bottom line is that made us better. And at this time, I want to offer a public apology on behalf of the defensive backs. Terry, Kelly, and the rest of the receivers, after 34 years, were willing to admit we held you in practice. My apologies.
Finally.
But again, that was one of those things that made us a better team. The second thing that come to mind was just how special this time of our lives were. It was a shared experience then, since, and now. The last 24 hours have really proven that. We came from diverse backgrounds. That's what really made us unique. Like I said before, pretty significant cast of characters. We didn't all hang out, but during practice time and game day, we came together to get the job done. We found how to love each other in a time that was very, very difficult with that. 35 years later, I know if anything were to happen to any one of us, we'd drop everything we're doing to come to our teammates' rescue. And as we've kind of chatted about this experience, you know, many people might say, well, they're out there talking about the glory days. Well, the glory days were not that time. The glory days have been since that time and as a result of that time. And the type of men that we've turned into over the last 24 hours, that's become abundantly clear. We've done all kinds of things in our life. We've been working in the medical field, public service. We've become teachers and coaches, public speakers, working for professional sports teams, business owners, entrepreneurs, real estate, and everything else, and being meaningful in our communities. It was a time of significance, and I think about the movie Field of Dreams, if you recall that film. There's a scene in there where Ray Kinsella is in Moonlight Graham's office, and he's asking him about, would you come back and do it again and why? And he said this, Moonlight Graham said this, at the time, you don't think much of it. You know, we just don't realize the most significant times and the moments of our life when they're happening. I think that team symbolizes that. We didn't know it, but we certainly have since, and we certainly do now. CWU is part of our life, and it'll be a part of our life until we're done. Bless you guys.
Like Rodney Dangerfield up here, for those of you old enough. Well, respect. How do you follow a guy like that? Thank you very much for an opportunity to speak on behalf of this really great group of men. This is an incredible weekend, an incredible time in our lives. I'm so thankful for it, and I think I can speak on behalf of everybody about that sentiment. So Thank you very much. What I wanted to talk about is kind of an extension of what Scott's hitting on. This is really about team. This is a recognition of an entire group of individuals as a team. In my humble opinion, that's the best way to go into a Hall of Fame, is one big unit. And there's no more evidence that we are a team, we were a team, we still are a team, than this turnout tonight and this weekend. The reality, too, is we'll always be a team. We will always be connected to each other as a result of our experience here at Central Washington University. It's hard to believe this was a team from last decade. I heard someone say 35 years, and I'm like, no, 34. It's 34. But I can't think of a more fitting way than to go in as a unit, as a group. The term that comes to mind, I don't recall if we actually used it, is brotherhood, but I believe that we lived it before it was a cliche, before it was a hashtag that every program in high school football in America uses now. I know my kids did. It's brotherhood, though. Before there were hashtags, those used to be pound symbols. But again, we were a brotherhood then, we are right now, and we always will be. It's a fraternity. We didn't have fraternities. We didn't have a Greek system at Central Washington University, but we had our own fraternity, and I'm sure the other sports can identify with that in their sorority or what other kind of hood we have. You know, it's often said, too, that sports don't build character, they reveal it, and I think that's true, but I also think our experience at Central Washington University also helped build our character. I truly believe we all had our character formed in some way, some form, some fashion as a result of our time with this program back in the 80s. So, you know, with that, you know, every team has its characters, and we had no shortage of a cast of characters on our team. I'm not going to name any names, but we know who you were, and we know who you still are. But definitely characters. We had plenty of them. But our coaches, our trainers, the managers, administrators, and the university, they have immeasurably enriched and shaped our lives through the gift of getting to play college football. Scott mentioned head coach Mike Dunbar. He was the straw that stirred the drink. He was our commander. He was our demander. He demanded things from us. Run it again was his favorite saying. Yeah, run it again. So with character, Dunny built character, absolutely. We lost Coach Dunbar, as Scott mentioned, 10 years ago, and many of us gathered 10 years ago in Tacoma at his memorial as a team, Also, I'd like to give a shout out to another great man who built character as a head coach of Central Washington University football team, and that's Coach Tom Perry. Many of us in this room, on this stage rather, were indoctrinated into college football at Central by Coach Tom Perry. Another fantastic man who built great character. His impact was significant. His example was fantastic, and we miss Coach Perry as well. We lost Coach at age 94 in 2017. And we did lose one other coach that was very impactful. Again, Scott mentioned his name, but it's worth repeating. He not only was a coach for some of us, but he was also a teammate at the end of Coach Perry's tenure, Charles Chandler. He was a teammate and later a coach for many, many years. He represented the Wildcats. And we talk about character. Charlie, as Perry liked to call him, Charlie Chandler. Charles oozed character, so we miss him as well. Sadly also, it's not just coaches that we've lost. We've lost a few teammates along the way. Shane Wersch, we lost Shane in 2007 when he was killed in a horrible car accident on his way home from work by a drunk driver. So now we all know somebody who's been impacted by a drunk driver. We also lost another brother, Lamont Rice. Lamont just passed away earlier this year of natural causes. So I just want to say thank you to those men, our brothers. May they rest in peace. Finally, the 1989 season, I was there in 87 too. It was a culmination for many of us. For a lot of us on this stage, it was our final season. You know, we want, though, to also recognize the other teams. Scott mentioned the prior season, 88. I'd like to also go back in time, in history, all the teams before us and the foundations that they laid, and recognize those teammates that many of us played with. They're a part of this. Everybody who's in the program before us and up to that season was part of this. And so I'd like to acknowledge them, because this is part of them as well, and they're part of us. So we all played our part. So just a shout out to those former Wildcats, those teammates. As I said, for most of us, or a lot of us, that was our final year. That's the end of our run. That day of reality, you know, many of us have had it, and we know that feeling. And, you know, this is the last time we'll play a game competitively where it matters, where it means something, where someone cares what the score is, or people will come and watch. That's a hard day. Very few of us get to live on and do it again beyond that. There's some exceptions in this room. There's a few exceptions on this stage. Mr. Bighill, who, congratulations to you on your honor coming up. You're one of the lucky ones that gets to continue to live the dream, and congratulations to you. In addition to all the life lessons we learned, is the things that we took away from this experience, and I'll try to wrap this up. I could talk about these guys forever, but outside of getting married and having kids, this was the best time of our lives. This is the best time for me, I can tell you that, and I think a lot of these guys will agree with that, and I think we've already talked about that in the last 24 hours quite a bit. But it's the things that we were taught, it's the things that we were given. You know, the things we were taught, it's what we've taught our kids as dads, as parents, as coaches, as role models. I know I learned a lot of those lessons that I've tried to pass on to my kids and my kids' friends. So in closing, I want to thank Central Washington University for the gifts afforded to us to be able to play the sport of college football. Is truly a privilege and something that I think we're going to be eternally grateful for the rest of our lives. You know, it really provided a springboard, as Scott said in so many words, to our futures and what we've become. So finally, I want to thank again the Central Washington University Athletic Hall of Fame Committee for honoring our team, all of us as a group. And I also want to make sure I point out the coaches that showed up tonight. We really appreciate you being part of this with us. Coach Walker, Bruce Walker, Scott Ricardo, thank you for making the trip up. John Pica, always my brother. Thank you very much. Thank you to my brothers. Go Cats. Thanks, guys. Love it.
Where are we at? Right there? Here. There he is, right there, John, you want to?
Stand up tall.
Hey, great day to be a Wildcat on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great day to be a Wildcat.
The one that goes on the spindle.
Oh, okay.
Killed it. Scott. My goodness.
Made him without crying.
Game day, baby.
We had guys crying.
I'm pretty sure.
My boys playing soccer. My shirt first. Didn't you coach for a lot? I thought you coached.
Well, no, I was in
Solid.
I coached youth, but I coached travel baseball.
Oh, okay. Because you like baseball's your sport. I got to say hi to this guy.
You gotta go
No,
see
I love you. Dude, there was one stoplight there.
Yeah.
Now I'd like to welcome to the podium Mr. R.L. Haverlow. R.L. is the cousin of CWU Athletics Hall of Famer Dave Haverlow, and once again he'll be serving as our auctioneer for tonight's live auction. R.L. Haverlow. Right on cue.
Yeah, I'm ready. You're ready. You want it? You got your list, or?
They'll have it up there, but I think
Okay.
we have our live auction list here.
Are you going to do the announcing then?
I'll do a little intro.
Okay, that'll be good.
All right.
All right. We're just doing the first
Yeah,
five.
we're doing first five. All right, folks. Tonight we have an opportunity to bid on some great live auction packages. Thanks to a lot of great donors, some CW alums, a lot of folks that are in this room. And so our first package, if we can slide that up here on the slide. This is an awesome opportunity by a CW grad, former football player, Nolan Teasley. Nolan is now the assistant general manager for the Seattle Seahawks and really is offering an unbelievable experience. First, we have right here, it is a signed Pete Carroll football. And in addition to that, you'll have a tour of the practice facility June 15th or 16th, I believe the dates are, and it is for a group of 6 individuals. So it's a kind of a one-of-a-kind auction package. It is a tour of the Seattle Seahawks practice facility during OTAs, so the players will be there. You'll be able to watch practice, but also this Pete Carroll signed football. So we're going to start the bidding right here. RL's going to kick it off. Thanks, RL.
Thanks, Dennis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's event. So we're going to raise some money here. If you'll get those little bidder numbers out and kind of hold them up and wave them a little bit so I can see that everybody's got that. Now, the lights are on me here, so there's a lot of reflection here. I don't want to miss you. I don't want to miss you, but we're going to move right along. We'll raise a lot of good money here for your event here tonight and here for Central Washington University. Okay, here we go right there. We take it forward here. And let's see who's going to go on the football tour. And what am I bid on it here? You told me somebody give about, who'll give $1,000 to go. What would you like to give, sir? Would you give $500? I got $1,000 bid. He'll get $1,250. I got $1,000 bid. $1,250 bid, and now $1,500. $1,500 is bid. $1,750 to you, sir. $1,750 is bid. $2,000 to you, sir. $2,000 is bid. Now $2,250. I got $2,000 bid at $2,250 out to buy it. At $2,000 bid. $2,250 is bid. $2,500 to you, sir. At $2,250. Don't let him do that to you now. At $2,250 down. $2,500. We're saving you for last now. At $2,250 now. $2,500 about $2,500. $2,250 to $2,500. You're in, sir. Don't raise your own bid. Don't raise your own bid. You're okay, sir. If he'd bid again, I'd get more money out of you, though. You're so excited. That's okay. Sir, would you give $2,500? Now you can bid, sir. And now $2,750. And now $2,750. Now $3,000 even money. At $2,750, they would get $3,000. Even money, sir. It's easier to write out in the checkbook. Get $3,000. At $27.5, they would get $3,000. About $27.5, they would get one more time. Last call. Last try and die. Sold for $2,750 to buyer number 207. Jeff Penzler, thank you very much. Appreciate your support here tonight. All right. Do we have somebody writing that down, though? Yeah. Is the clerk okay? We okay, clerk? Okay, you got it down? All right. Our next item up here. We have a home rental in Seaside, Oregon. This is for 3 nights. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom oceanfront property at Seaside, Oregon. Donated here by Mary Hirsch, okay, and right here, Lewis and Clark Expedition, a lot of good things to see here. And what am I bid here? And let's see who's going to go to Seaside, Oregon. And somebody get $2,000 to buy it there. And somebody get $2,000. Who'll give $1,000? $1,000 to buy, leave it $1,000 to buy, $1,000 to bid, $1,250 to you, sir. And now $1,500. $1,500 to bid, $1,750 to you, sir. And now $1,750 to buy there, $1,500 to $1,750 to buy. But I'll tell you what, it makes it a lot easier. Just give me $1,600. $1,500, they would get $1,600 to buy it. $100 more, sir. $15 minutes to $1,600 to buy it. 15 minutes to $1,600. 15 minutes to $1,600 to buy it. 15 minutes to $16. 3 nights in Seaside. $1,600 to buy it. You can't even go to Las Vegas for that. I can tell you that. You're in, sir. $1,500. $1,600. $2,000, I like it better. And now 2,250. At 2,000 to bid, 2,250 out of the buy. 2,000 to bid, 2,250. All in, last call at $2,250. And I sold it for $2,000 right here. Buyer 221.
Bruce Walker.
Thank you, Bruce. Bruce Walker. Nice donation, Bruce. Appreciate your good donation here tonight. All right, we're going to turn the page, and we're going on to a Seattle Seahawk Field Turf Suite Access. Do you want to say anything about this?
This suite is actually in the end zone, so when they score the touchdown, you get a wave right there. There's a box there, beer, wine, Field Turf donates this. Donnie Jones, whose 2 daughters graduated from Central, but I know a few people. James Kirkham has taken advantage of this opportunity before, but a wonderful opportunity for 2 individuals, just a great on-field Field Turf experience, box seats right there in the red zone.
All right, here. An opportunity here, you betcha. A lifetime opportunity here. What am I bidding on it here? Who'd like to start the bidding at $2,000 to buy it? Who'll give $1,000, start the bidding, give it $1,000. $1,000 to bid, now $1,250. $1,000 bid at $1,200 is bid, 50 now. $1,500 to you, sir. $1,500 to buy it. $1,500 is bid. $1,750 is bid. $2,000 to you, sir. At $2,000 to bid, $2,250. He's not going to take you with you either. $2,250 is bid. $2,500. And now $2,500 to bid. $2,750. At $2,500 to bid. Your turn, sir. $2,750. At $2,750 out of the buy. $2,500 to bid. $2,750 out of the buy. $2,500 bid. $2,750. All the money's going to good cause tonight. $2,750. At $2,500, David. $2,750 all in last cry at $2,750. And anybody else want to give $2,600 all in last call at $2,500, $2,600, and I sold right down front for $2,500. Buyer 227. Buyer 227. Thank you very much for your support, sir. Oh, our next item up here, dinner. You want to do this one here? Okay, all right.
Well, this is a wonderful opportunity to not only get to know our university president and his wife, Sasha, but also taste some fine wines by CWU Foundation member Aaron Christofferson. He is not a sommelier, but close. But a wine connoisseur, a great meal for 8 individuals, you and 7 of your friends at the University House, a great dinner by our university catering, but awesome wine by Aaron Christofferson, and I think each individual, each couple will leave with a bottle of wine as well from Aaron's collection. So we'll get you started.
Okay, fine opportunity. Up to 7 guests here, ladies and gentlemen. And what's your bidding pleasure here? Would somebody like to start the bidding at $2,000? Who'll give $1,000? Start the bidding. Who'll give $1,000 to buy? $1,000 to buy? Everybody get $1,000. $1,000 to bid. Now $1,250. $1,000 to bid. $1,250 out to buy. $1,000 to bid. $1,250. Who'll give $1,100? A 10's bid. $1,100 to buy. 10. Everybody get $1,100. A 10. Everybody get $1,100 to buy. $1,000 to bid. $1,100 for 7 people, ladies and gentlemen. For 7 people, $1,100 to buy. I got 1,000 bid. $1,100 is bid, and now $1,200, ma'am. $1,200 is bid, $1,300 to buy it there. $1,300 is bid, $1,400 to you, ma'am. $1,400 is bid, $1,500 to you, sir. At $14, they would get $15, they would get $1,500 is bid, $1,600, ma'am. $16 is bid, $1,700 to buy it. Now I got her pumped up, and you deflated on me. Give me $1,700, now $1,800, and now $1,800. $1,800 is bid, now $19. Now $19, they would get $19, they would get $19. $1,900 is bid, $2,000 even money. And now $2,000 is bid, now $2,100. Thank you very much for your support. We wouldn't have got there without you. I'm bid $2,000, $2,100 to buy it. At $2,000 bid at $2,100 to buy, $2,000 bid at $2,100. Going once, twice, third, and final call at $2,100 an end. You're going to go have dinner. Sold for $2,000. You betcha. And your buyer number tonight, ma'am, is your buyer number? 197. Thank you very much, Gladys Gillis. I appreciate your good support there. Thank you, David. We wouldn't have got there without you, too. So, and that's our 5th item. You want to sell another one? Okay.
This is our 5th item. This last year we sold this experience as well. And actually, I think, employees to this event, and it was a wonderful experience. It is an on-field pre-game experience. They get to go batting practice, get on the field, and take pictures with Tanner Swanson and other Yankees. Tanner is a CWU baseball grad. Many of you probably knew his father, Swanee. Anybody know Swanee in here? Yeah. If you've watched the Netflix Bastards of Baseball, sorry for cussing, but Swanee is the left-handed catcher, and when we talk about characters, he wrote the book on it. So Swanee was just a great personality, but Tanner is his son. He coaches for the New York Yankees, a catching coach, and just an outstanding individual. But this is 4 tickets, pre-game, on the field, go to batting practice, and a wonderful experience for you to experience here in Seattle. And that series, one of those days, May 29th through the 31st. So you get to pick your game.
Okay, let's see who's going to go on the on-field experience here. All right, here we go, and let's go see the Mariners and the Yankees play. All right, here, and when you went before, and you're telling me right there, you get a phone there, somebody who'll give $1,000 to go here. Who'll give $1,000? I bid 1,000 bid, and somebody get 1,250. 1,000 bid, 1,250. I'll buy 1,000 bid, 1,250. Who'll give 1,100? They would get 1,200 at $1,200 down, 1,300, and now 13. So everybody get 13. They would 13 with 13. I'm at 1,200. They would get 13 to buy it at 13, and they would 13 with 13. For to see the Yankee game, it's worth that. 1,300. 1,300. They would get 13 with 13. 12 is bid. 1,300 is bid. $1,400 to buy it. Your turn, sir. 1,400. 13 is bid at $1,400 to buy it. They would get 14. Good support here now. At $1,400 to buy it. 13 is bid at 14 with $14 about 13 is bid at 1,400. 1,400 is bid. $1,500 to buy it. At 14 is bid at 15. Is bid at 15. Is bid at $1,500 to buy it. 15. Now 16. And now $1,600 to buy it. 16. $1,600 to buy it. Let's see if it'll bring 2,000, sir. Give me 1,600. 15 bid at $1,600. 16 bid, $1,700 to buy it. And now $1,700 to buy it. But you just about owned it for $100 more. You might find out. And now 17. And now $1,700 to buy it. And now 7. Don't get mad. Just get a little bit more money. 1,700. And now $1,700 to buy it. At 16 bid at $1,700 to buy it. All in. Last call at $1,700. You want to go again at $1,700 to buy it. Let's see who's going to go see the Mariners and the Yankees at $1,700. And I sold for $1,600. Put it on buyer $243. Thank you very much for your support. A member of the 89 team. Thank you very much, sir. All right, we'll turn our page and okay, that wraps up our first 5. I'll be back here in a little bit to sell you 5 more. We're going to continue on with their inductees here.
Thanks, RL. Yep. I forgot to mention that last one too, a special escort by Bill Driver. So Bill was the escort last year for those individuals, but a great on-field experience. So you'll have a great time.
All right, this time we're going to take about a 10-minute break, go use the restroom, take a look at those silent auction items that you may have bid on already. We are going to close the silent auction at the end of this intermission. And I think we're going to have a clock on the display screen, so when that 10 minutes is up, we're going to resume our program. So take a 10-minute intermission, go put in some final bids, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes. If we could get the offensive lineman from the 1989 football team, I'd like to get together for a group picture over here in front of the stage. Again, the offensive lineman from the 89 football team, if you could come up for a group photo, that'd be great. Thank you. Thanks, Dave Haverlow, for tapping the glass. We're going to get ready to resume our program. If you can make your way back to your seats, we'd appreciate it. The silent auction items are also closing in 1 minute. You've got 1 minute to go check out your bids and maybe submit a final one, okay? Thank you.
All right, the silent auction items are closing. They'll be sweeping those. And if you could please return to your seat, and we will have our next inductee. Please return to your seats. Thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to continue our program at this time. If you could please make your way back to your seat, we would appreciate it. I don't want to be rude.
I would just say, please take your seats so we can honor.
Please take your seats, folks. We'd like to honor our next inductee at this time. All right, our third inductee into the class of 2023 in the CWU Athletics Hall of Fame is former women's volleyball standout Carolyn Mires Pemberton. Carolyn came to CWU from Walla Walla High School, where she was a standout volleyball and track and field star during her prep days with the Blue Devils. She, like tonight's first inductee, Kristen Willis-Davis, was a key part of the Wildcats' transition from the NAI to NCAA Division II, although Carolyn's entire career was right after the university became an NCAA member. Over the course of her 4 seasons from 1999 through 2002, Carolyn was a starter at outside hitter for the Wildcats, appearing in 105 matches and 356 games in the Crimson and Black. A 3-time All-Conference selection, she averaged better than 3.5 kills per game in each of her final 3 seasons. She surpassed the 200 dig plateau in all 4 years, ultimately concluding her career with a school record 1,265 kills and a total of 942 digs. Her kill total remains intact as a school record still today, 20 years after the conclusion of her playing career. And she also ranks third in school history in kills per game and total service aces. In addition to her successes on the court, which culminated with consecutive second-team All-Great Northwest Athletic Conference honors in her final 2 seasons, Carolyn was a standout in the classroom. She earned academic All-GNAC honors as a junior and senior and graduated from Central in June 2003 with a 3.458 grade point average in math education. Since graduating from CWU, she married her college sweetheart, Dave, in the summer of 2003. She has taught and coached at both Southridge and Walla Walla high schools, with a stint teaching math at Walla Walla Community College mixed in there as well. She has coached volleyball and track and field at Wah High, later adding a master's degree in education from Grand Canyon University in 2013. She and Dave live in Walla Walla and have 4 children, Colt, Jax, Case, and Colby. Ladies and gentlemen, our next inductee into the CWU Athletics Hall of Fame class of 2023, Carolyn Mires Pemberton.
Well, thank you. It's been 20 years since I graduated from Central, but this place will always hold a very special place in my heart. The memories I have of playing here, the places we got to travel, and the friendships I made are still with me even now. This was also the place where I met my husband, Dave, and now we've got 4 children that we are enjoying watching them compete and play sports. I have to start by thanking so many of my teammates, a few of which have taken time out of their busy lives to come and be with me tonight to show their support for me. I played with some incredible athletes my 4 years at Central, and these also included Hall of Fame members Katie Orgill, Kate Riome, and Leanne McGahee, as well as Julia Roberts, Carrie St. Martin, Serena Lawrence, Tracy Anderson, Ellie Gargis, Randy Rogers, Leanne Coleman, and Jessica Scott. Each of these ladies impacted my life in some way during those 4 years of my playing career, and many of them still have an impact on my life today. I also want to thank my coaches, Mario and Daya, and Brad Ackerman. Both of them came to my house the fall of my senior year of high school in Walla Walla, asking me to come to Central to play volleyball. And I was lucky enough to have both Mario and Brad coach me for the entire 4 years I played at Central. It was their encouragement and belief in me that made my career such a successful one. The fact that Mario has continued to build the program here at Central into a winning program year after year just shows how invested he is into his team and this school. Mario is the epitome of the type of coach that you want your daughter playing for. He is a man of integrity, honesty, and values hard work over anything else. I was not the most talented volleyball player on the team, but Mario saw something in me and continued to push me to grow and get better year after year. Lastly, I can't end this without thanking my parents. My parents are really the reason I'm here today. Both my parents played sports growing up and in college. My dad played college football, and my mom college volleyball. They both instilled a love of competition and hard work into me from a very young age. Both my parents were teachers, and they spent a lot of hours after work driving me around to and from volleyball and basketball practices and games, as well as track practices and meets. They rarely missed anything. They showed up and supported me every day. They never complained, always encouraged me, and were only hard on me when I wasn't putting in the effort I should have been. When I came to Central, they still showed up for almost every game, whether home or away. My parents have always been my biggest supporter, and that has not changed even since graduating from college, getting married, and having my own family. I wish they were both here celebrating with me tonight. My dad passed away suddenly a 1.5 years ago, and so he's not here tonight to give me that hug and show up at Central one last time for me. But I just want to thank my mom one more time and let her know how grateful I am for all the love and support her and my dad always gave me. So thank you all again. This is very much appreciated. Go Wildcats.
I'd like to welcome back to the stage Mr. R.L. Haverlow for part 2 of tonight's live auction.
Okay, well, let's see. This is going to see who's going to go see the Chicago Cubs, I believe, here. We have 2 tickets and airfare to go back to see the Chicago Cubs play, I guess, at any time. I guess you'll set the date and that for a Cubs game. Going to have some pizza and everything else out there. Donated here from Craig Driver and Mary Herc. Okay, Hirsch. Okay, let's see who's going to go see the Cubs. Oh, yep.
And this is for any of the home series for the Cub games, so you can kind of look at your calendar, plan your vacation, go to the Windy City. And Craig Driver is the son of Bill and Carol Driver, and Craig's a CWU baseball alum, and Craig is the catching coordinator for the Cubs, and got his master's degree from Central as a GA in our athletic administration, our baseball program. But a wonderful young man, great representative of CWU, and it's going to be a wonderful time. They'll also be able to have a pregame on-field experience. Craig will get you down on the field, take pictures, and get a wander Wrigley Field a little bit. So a great time, a great opportunity, one of a lifetime.
Yes, I would say it is a trip of a lifetime. Okay, let's see who's going to go watch the game here, and here we go right the video phone there. You tell me what's your bidding pleasure here. Who'll give $2,000 to go? Who'll give $1,000 to start the bidding? At $1,000 out of the buy. $1,000 is bid, and now $1,250. I got $1,000 bid, and now $1,250 out of the buy. $1,250 now $1,500, sir. At $1,250 now $1,550 out of it. $1,250 $1,500 is bid, and now $1,750. $1,750 bid, and now $2,000 out of the buy. At $1,750 now $2,250. Your turn, sir. They would get $2,000 out of $1,750 now too. At $1,750, they would get $2,000 is bid, and now $2,250. At $2,000 bid at $2,250 out of the buy. $2,000 bid at $2,250. At $2,000 bid at $2,250. I'll tell you what, guys. I'll break up the tie here. Who'll give $2,100? Who'll give $2,100? There's 3 of you bidding on it. Let's see who's going to go see the Cubs game. At $2,100 to buy. At $2,000 bid at $2,100 to buy. You're going to watch it on TV, are you? At $2,000 bid at $21. At $2,000 bid at $2,100 to buy. $2,000 bid now $21 to buy. $2,000 bid at $21. $2,100 is bid, and now $2,200 to buy. At $2,100 is bid, now $22 to you, sir, in the back. At $21, they bid at $2,200 to buy. $21's bid at $22. You don't have to take her. You can go by yourself. At $21, $22. At $21, they bid at $22. At $21, they bid at $2,200 to buy. $21's bid at $2,200. All in, last call. At $2,200 is bid, now $2,300 to buy. At $22, now 3. And now $22, they bid at $2,300 to buy. $22, they bid at $3. Hey, you know, for $100 more, you might get to go too. At $2,300. At $22, they bid at $23. At $22, they bid at $2,300 to buy. $22, they bid at $23. At $22, they bid at $2,300 to buy. Don't want to miss anybody. Last call. At $22, they bid at $2,300 to buy. $22, they bid at $2,300. At $2,300 going once. At $2,300 going twice. Third and final call at $2,300. Are you done? Are you sure you're done? You know, it's better to go this way, not this way. At 23, sold it right there, $2,200. Put it on buyer number. What's that number tonight? Ryan Kellogg. Your number is that 427? 427.
Thank you, Ryan. It's going to be a great time. Thank you, Mary Hirsch and Craig Driver. Mary donating those airfare miles for you, so just contact us and we'll make sure you make that connection. Our next package is the highly coveted MJ Theater play over at the Paramount Theater, Tony Award winning, and it is in December of 2023. Don't know the exact dates yet, but you'll get that. But included in that is a $500 gift certificate to the upscale Italian restaurant Tullio, compliments of Gene and Joe Adams. So thank you so much for that package, but also the play musical is going to be outstanding. As it says here, Tony Award winning, and last year we had another play that went very great, and great seats from what I hear. So thank you, Mary. Thank you, Gene and Joe.
Tonight, here we go run the video phone there. Told me, and here we go run the video phone there. And somebody starts the bidding. He'll give $1,000 to go here. At somebody give $1,000 to buy 1,000 bid now, 1,250. I got 1,000 bid at 1,250 to buy 1,000 to bid, 1,250 to buy 1,000 bid at 1,250 is bid, and now $1,500 to you. At 1,250 now, 15, 15, 15. At 1,250 now, 15. No, we already did that. 12 and a half. Now you got to be 15. And now 15, give it a 15, sir. You want to be 1,500, sir. At 15 now, 1,250. You want to get 14 real quick. At $1,400 about 1,250, give it a $1,400 about 1,250, give it a $1,400. At $1,400 about 1,250, give it a $1,400 about. You're in the lead, ma'am. At 1,250, don't raise your own bid. Just a minute. We're over here. You want to get 1,400, sir? At 1,250, give it a $1,400 about 1,250, give it a 1,400. Great value here. You're going to see a good show, good food. At $1,400 to buy. Just got back from Las Vegas, and you won't get into a restaurant for that kind of price. I can tell you that. At $1,400, at $1,400, you want to go? Last call. At $1,400, and in a bus. Don't want to miss anybody. Oh, 14's bid, and now 15, and now 15 there, now 16, sir, and now 16. She wants 16, now 17, ma'am, and now 1,700, now 1,800, sir, and now 18 there, now 1,900, ma'am, and now 2,000 to you, sir, at 19, but at 2. That we're just having an auction, and it's your turn. At 19's bid at $2,000 to 19, the bidding 2. At 19 bid at now $2,000 to 19, bid at $2,000 to 19, the bidding 2. Last call at $2,000, and enjoy your time. Sold for $1,900. Give her a good round of applause. Her buyer number is, ma'am, your number? Buyer 205. Buyer 205. Gene Adams. Okay, thank you very much. Nice support there. Okay, we're turning the page and we're moving on. And I'll let you go ahead. You want to do this one here too?
Well, they're on a run right now, and hopefully they'll be there again next season, but Seattle Kraken. So these are 4 tickets to the WA-Fed level, which is supposed to be some pretty amazing seats. As you know, it is a tough ticket to get, but 4 seats to see the Kraken in the WA-Fed reserve section. And, of course, this is wonderful seats, and the donors for this are Tony Smith and Angie Marola. Angie's a member of our foundation board, and Tony's a member of our Wildcat Athletic Association. And then also included with that is a $500 gift certificate at the Toulouse Petite Kitchen Restaurant, compliments of Gene and Joe Adams. So a great night out to watch a little Kraken, but also a wonderful meal at Tulio.
Okay, and I understand there's not a bad seat in the Coliseum there. It's a great, great opportunity, a hard ticket to get. Let's see who's going to go. And what's your bidding pleasure here for 4 tickets? And when I bid on it, you tell me right there, bidding phone there. Somebody get $2,000 to buy it. Who'll give $1,000 to start the bidding? I got 1,000 bids. Somebody get $1,250. $1,250 is bid, and now $1,500. $1,500 is bid, and now $1,750. $1,750 is bid, and now $2,000 to buy it. At $1,750 now, $2,000 about $1,750. They bidding at 2. $1,750 now, $2,000 about $1,750. They bidding at 2. $2,000 about $1,750 now 2. Thank you. 2 is bid. You're in, sir. Now $2,250. 2,000 bid at $2,250. 2,000 bid at $2,250 to buy. 2,000 bid at $2,250. Somebody get $2,100. I'll let you in, sir. It makes it easier this time. $2,100. At 2,000 bid, $2,100 to buy. 2,000 bid at $2,100. At 2,000 bid at 20. Sir, you're already in at 2,000. You want to spend some more? He wants to spend some more if somebody will bid against him. And now $2,100 to buy. At 2,000 bid at $2,100 to buy. At 2,000 bid at $2,100 to buy. 2,000 bid at $2,100. At $2,100 about $2,100 about 2,000 bid. You want to just give $2,500? Would you just like to donate $2,500 tonight? You want to donate $2,500 tonight? Yeah, you're in at 2,000. I just didn't know if you wanted to give a little bit more. At 2,000 bid at 20. Who'll give 2,100? At 2,000 bid at $2,100. All in. Last call. At $2,100 to buy on the Kraken game, and going right there at $2,100, and I sold for $2,000. You're the winner. $2,000.
Dr. Chris James.
Dr. Chris James. Doctor, what's your number tonight? He's so happy. Thank you, 288. Thank you, 288, the buyer. Thank you, Dr. Chris James. Appreciate your good support. Okay, we're going to turn our page here. Oh, I think you want me to take a look here on the board here. Let's see who's going to go to Arizona here now. Let's see who's going to go down to Arizona. This is donated from my cousin here, Dave Haverlow, and Peggy McNutt here. And we've got a really nice 3-night stay 5-bedroom, 3-bath home down in the suburbs of Phoenix here. And you can go watch all the spring training games. I guess there's Kansas City Royals, Texas Rangers, and the Mariners within 30 to 45-minute drive from their home. But a very lovely place. Take a break, cold rain, grab some good food, quick trips, and gathering the boys and girls and have a good time in the town. So this CU is going to go down to Arizona. They've got a nice pool, nice destination spot. Take a few days off with your family. Go see the spring training games or whatever you would like. All right, here. And for 3-night stay, what am I bid on it here? You told me. Right, if you get phone, somebody get $2,000 to buy it there. And somebody get $2,000 to buy. Who starts bidding at $1,000? 1,000 bid now, 1,250. 1,000 bid now, 1,250 to buy. 1,000 bid at 1,200. 1,250 is bid and now 1,500. 1,500 is bid and now 1,750. 1,750 now 2,000. 1,750 now $2,000 to buy down to 2. 1,750 now 2. Thanks for the help though. That's 1,750 now $2,000 to buy. 1,750 now 2. Who else wants in there at $2,000? I got 1,750. Somebody want to give 1,900 real quick? That's 1,750. They bid $19 to buy. 1,750. They bid $1,900. 1,900 is bid. Now $2,000 to buy. 2,000 bid. $2,100 to you, ma'am. And now $2,100 to buy. At 2,000 bid at $2,100 to buy it. At 2,000 bid at $2,100 to buy it. Very nice, lovely place. You'll enjoy your full time there. They got a pool. Just turn the kids loose. I guess the house is full of food. Thanks, Dave. Oh, booze. He says all the booze you can find in the house. And here we go. And now 2,100. At 2,000 bid at $2,100 to buy it. At 2,000 bid at 2,100 is bid. And now 2,200 is bid. Oh, he wants it too. And now $2,300 to buy. Let's have an auction now. Oh no, he's not going to take you with you. And now 22 bid at 23. At 22 bid at 23. All in. Last call at $2,300. 2,300 is bid. And now 24. Now we got an auction. And now 2,400. And now $2,400 to buy. 2,400 is bid. And now 2,500. And now 25. I'll guarantee you will have a great time. And now 2,500. At 24. Don't ask him. You never do anyway. Give me 25. At 24, 25. At 24, David, 25. At 25. And oh, okay. I'll give you a timeout there for a minute. Go ahead. You can talk to him. At 24, David, 25. At 24, David, 25. At 24 is bidding $2,500. But 24, David, $2,500. But 24, David, 2,500. At 2,500. All in. 2,500. She said yes. Now 2,600. And now 2,600, sir. And now 2,600 to buy. 2,600 is bid. Now 2,700. And now $2,700 to buy. And now $2,700 to buy. 26 bid to 2,700. And now 2,600 to bid. $2,700 to buy. David, 27. 3-night stays. 5 beds in that house. You can take some friends with you too. And now $2,700 to buy. At 26 bid to 2,700. All in. Last call and die. What's the corporation say? 2,700 for the good cause tonight. 2,700 is bid, she says. Now 2,800. 2,800 is bid. Now 2,900. Whoa, we got a war going on. And now $2,900 to buy. Are you done, ma'am? Thank you very much for your help. All in, last call. 28's bid. $2,900 and I. Sold for $2,800. Going to buyer number 123. 123. Thank you very much, David Fisk, the buyer there. Thank you very much, David. Oh, nice support. Nice support. Okay, we're moving on here. I'm going to turn it over here to Dennis here on this next one here. Let him give you a little review.
Well, we had a couple of people take advantage of this opportunity last year. And again, this is for the Seattle Seahawks Thursday night game. We don't know when that is yet for next season, but it's the Thursday night highly coveted game to go to. Last year it was against the 49ers. I don't know who won that one. Okay, all right. So, but they are 2 tickets. They are at the 50-yard line, first row. First row, 50-yard line. You can hear the players sweat even. You can smell it, hear them talk smack. And but they are at the 50-yard line, first row, Thursday night game, wonderful seats. But on top of that, you have a $500 gift certificate to Il Terrazzo Carmine's, a wonderful restaurant in Seattle. And there's also Carmine's in Bellevue that gift certificate's valid for as well. But that's a $500 gift certificate and 2 front row tickets for the Seattle Thursday night game this coming season, and that is compliments of Charlene Erickson and Gene and Joe Adams. So Charlene has donated these tickets for the last few years. They've been a hot buy. So thank you, Charlene, and thank you, Gene and Joe.
Okay, let's go see who's going to the football game. You betcha. I don't think the tickets can get any better than this. And what am I bid on it here? You told me. And what would you like to give, sir? I got 2,000 to start the bidding. Who'll give 2,500? 2,500 is bid. Somebody get 3,000. 3,000 is bid. Now 3,500. I got 3,000 bid at 3,500. About 3,000 bid at 3,500. At 3,000 bid at 3,500. Somebody get 3,250. At 3,000 bid at 3,250. 3,250 is bid. $3,500. 3,500 is bid. 3,750. And now 3,750 out to buy. And now let's have an auction. 3,750. At 35 they bid get 3,750 to buy. 3,500 is bid. 3,750 to buy. At 3,500 to bid now, 3,700 good, 35 they bid at 37 for a good cause here tonight. 3,750 at 3,500 to bid, 35 now, 3,750 to buy. They bid at 37. We're already past common sense, so just go ahead and donate at 3,750. At 3,500 is bid, 3,750 out to buy. At 3,500 to bid, 3,750. You want to go? Last call. How much? I love the way you count. 3,800. Now, but he get 4,000. And now 4,000 out to buy. And now 4,000 out to buy. Are you with him? Oh, you are? Okay. And now 38, they would get 4,000. At 38's bid, and then ma'am, give me 4,000 in money. Give me 39, I'll get 4 out of him. 3,900 is bid, and now 4,000. And now 4,000 out to buy. Sir, for $100 more, you can go. Probably, maybe, if you're the last bid. And now 4,000. 39's bid. $4,000 to buy. At 39, they would get 4,000. All in, last call. Pull your money together now. At 39, they would get $4,000 there, and here we go, last call, and this last try, they would get $4,000. $4,000 and I. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been a great group to work with here on these live items here tonight. We still got more of the program to go here. But, sir, would you like to get in for one more time at $4,000 before I sell this item? And I sold it, $3,900. You betcha. Thank you for your help, sir. All right. And, ma'am, your number again was? Gladys Willis, buyer 197. Thank you for your great support here tonight. Very nice support. Well, I'm going to turn it back over here to Dennis. Thank you, folks, and we'll see you here in a few minutes.
Thank you. Thanks, RL, and thank you all for that wonderful bidding tonight. Those are great auction packages, some great winners, of course, as well. But thank you all for who donated to this live auction tonight. The gift certificates, all the ticket, the packages, the stays, a great opportunity for people to enjoy themselves. Thank you much.
All right, at this time, I'd like to introduce Laura Dalby-Nicolai, Associate Director of Athletics for Compliance and Student-Athlete Services, and the Athletic Department's Senior Women Administrator for our next segment.
The next part of our program is the Hall of Fame Endowed Scholarship. While CWU Athletics Hall of Fame has been in existence for 40 years, the Hall of Fame Endowed Scholarship is in its 11th year. It was the mastermind of a couple of Hall of Famers, John Curie, class of 2001, and Ken Kladnick, class of 1994, as both initiated this endowed scholarship in March 2013 with initial contributions of $1,000 each. Now, in 2023, our Hall of Fame's endowed scholarship funds totaled just under $200,000, thanks to the contributions of many individuals like yourself. Tonight, we would like to present the next recipients of the Hall of Fame Endowed Scholarship, a pair of standout student athletes on the CWU football and volleyball teams. This year's recipients are Patrick Rogers from Wildcat Football and Emma Daudebre from Central Volleyball. Patrick, a graduate of Tacoma's Lincoln High School, will be a sixth-year Wildcat this coming fall. He is a December 2022 graduate of CWU with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration, and he is currently enrolled as a post-baccalaureate student in Information Technology and Administrative Management. He was a first-team All-GNAC performer in the league's final season in 2021, and then became a first-team Division II All-American, by the American Football Coaches Association following the Wildcats' move to the Lone Star Conference this past fall. I would like to welcome Patrick to the podium for a few words.
Good evening. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves tonight. My name is Patrick Rogers. I'm a grad student athlete here at Central Washington. I'm truly blessed and highly grateful to be able to share my story with you guys for a second. I want to first thank the Lord, my family, loved ones, mentors, teammates, and everybody who's been a part of my journey every step of the way. I don't know if you guys have been watching the playoffs, the NBA playoffs, but the number 8 Miami Heat just knocked off the number 1 Milwaukee Bucks. And after the game, a reporter asked Giannis, "Do you believe the season was a failure?" And Giannis responded in frustration. He said, "Do you get that promotion every year?" "No, you don't." "So every year he said, "Every year, do you feel like work is a failure?" He said, "No, it's not failure. It's steps to success." And I'm bringing up this moment during this interview with you guys because I feel like it resembled my time here at Central Washington. I came here with high hopes of being a travel player my first year, but that wasn't the case. I ended up tearing my labrum during fall camp 2017, and I ended up tearing it again the next year, game 2 against Western Oregon. With injuries from back-to-back years, I felt as if my career was already coming to an end, but I knew I had so much more potential left. I remember at the end of the 2018 season, I had an exit meeting with Coach Fisk, and he had told me that I needed to get healthy, and if I don't, he had to look elsewhere for another corner. I remember just leaving that exit meeting just so frustrated and sad because he had said that, but I had no choice but to respect his words because he was right. I had to get healthy. In between these times of me recovering, my little brother had a tumor in his spine and had to get surgery to remove it, and not long after, my grandpa ended up passing. 2020, COVID hit, and until this point, I haven't started a game since 2016 in high school. Through all the injuries and off-the-field issues, I had every excuse to quit and go a different route, but I knew these hardships were only building and molding me to be who I am today. The injuries has taught me about recovery, how to take care of my body, perseverance, how to approach a game differently, and that each L I took was not a loss, but it was a lesson learned. There's no shortcuts in life, and that's something I want to teach the youth and the young people, that you have to embrace failure and not run away from it. The process is where you learn. The process is where you grow. The process is where you develop character and find out who you truly are. It's the only path to your goals. The process is the point I'm trying to make. I want to give a huge shout out to the coaches and staff here at Central Washington University. Without Coach Fisk and others believing in me, none of this would be possible. Coach had every right to let me go, but instead, he challenged me and gave me opportunities to be the best I can be. I'm destined to be here at Central Washington, and I wanted to prove that you don't need to go to a Division I school in order to have a successful career. Like PLU, Coach Frosty says, make the big time where you're at. Thank you, go Cats.
Our second scholarship recipient tonight, Emma, is a native of Woodinville, Washington. She led the NCAA Division II in blocks per set this past season, averaging 1.5 per set. She also ranked among the national leaders with a .387 hitting percentage, a number that listed 15th in Division II. Emma received honorable mention All-American honors from the American Volleyball Coaches Association for her on-court efforts. A candidate for graduation from CWU this spring, she owns a 3.841 grade point average as a psychology major and public health minor. I would like to welcome Emma to the stage for a few words.
Okay, hello. Sorry, I'm so nervous if I pass out, I'm sorry. I am so incredibly honored to be here tonight. Being on the Central Volleyball team has been one of the most important and formative experiences of my life. I cannot say enough about the special culture and atmosphere I've experienced here. I have learned how to advocate for myself and others. I have learned how to show up every day, put in the work, and reap the rewards with myself and my team and all the coaches that I share this ride with. Last year in March, I had been experiencing some shoulder pain, so I got an MRI, and little did you know, I had torn my labrum and rotator cuff. So at that point, it was a little bit too late, and we decided to just tough it through, get through the season, and with the constant support of my coaches, trainers, and team, I was able to play the season and enjoy our successful year together. This past January, I was finally able to get the surgery that I needed, and I'm gonna be honest, I was scared. I was very scared to go through surgery. I didn't think that I didn't know how I'd be able to go back. I was already a senior, and I was like, okay, you got 2 more years left. Here we go. My teammates have been there for me every day and encouraged me without fail. The day before my surgery, one of my teammates dropped off a little basket for me, and it had a neck pillow, some ice packs, and some of my favorite snacks. And it just reminded me that I am surrounded by the most altruistic people I've met in my entire life every day here at Central in the Ellensburg community. Without them, I could not have done this. I am truly nothing without the support system of the people around me, and I'm grateful every day. I want to also thank my coaches, Mario and Lo. Thank you for taking a chance on me back in 2019 when I was just an uncoordinated freshman. Took a little bit of training and a lot of hard work, but I hope that I can continue to make you guys proud. Oh my gosh, okay. I also want to thank President Wolfhart, Laura and Dennis, and everyone in the Hall of Fame committee and the athletic department for this scholarship. It really means a lot, and I am very appreciative of it. I also want to thank the lifesavers in the training room. I mean, every day, my athletic trainer, Jake, and the rest of the staff in there were there for me, whether it be STEM or just using the massage gun until I felt like I was going to cry, because that's what was going to get me through that practice, and I owe them a lot. I also want to give a big shout out to our strength and conditioning staff here. If you've ever been through a weight room session with Hoyam or Joe or Cam, you know they have completely made sure that you will be a better athlete when you walk out of that room. So big shout out to them. I also want to thank my incredible parents for being here tonight, as well as my boyfriend and his parents. Your support means the world to me, and I am so happy you've been able to support my journey over the past few years. Lastly, I just wanted to give a thank you to everyone here tonight. Every one of you have had a huge role here at Central in the community, whether it be in the athletic department, as a past player yourself, or just involved in all the amazing things we get to do here. The precedents you've all set have been trailblazing. Thank you for giving us student athletes the opportunities that we get to do every day. I'm so proud to be a part of this program. I am so excited to see this beautiful new renovation and beat Western in the fall. It's incredible that we get to share the love of the game with everyone in this community, because in everyone's heart, we're just a kid who wants to play. And let's have a great next year. Go Cats.
All right, now we are going to have Raise the Paddle. We are going to start at $5,000, go to $2,500, $1,000, $500, $250, and $100. So we will kind of go through these in phases, but all of these funds go to the Hall of Fame Endowed Scholarship. As Laura stated earlier, it was started 11, 12 years ago, and now it has grown to just shy of $200,000, and it's able to support student athletes like Emma and Patrick, who are just outstanding representatives of Central Washington University, and you have an opportunity right now to continue to develop those types of young men and women within our program.
Okay, with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's your opportunity right now. If you didn't get something bought in the sale, that you can donate now. We're going to start here at the $5,000 level, and we'll start here at the $5,000 level. Buyer 205. Do we have? Where's my clerk at? I want to make sure she's not missing this. You ready? Okay, 205. Buyer 275 donated $5,000. Anybody else at the $5,000 level? Gene Adams. Tom Bacchus and Janet Bacchus. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, nice support. Okay, anybody else at the $5,000 level? Okay, we're moving on to the $2,500 level. Right here, buyer 125 at the $2,500 Sasha Wilcox. Who else at the $2,500 level? Anybody else at the $2,500 level? Anybody else at the $2,500 level? Okay, we're moving on to the $1,000 level. Who would like to donate at the $1,000 level? Raise your card. Derek Sanderson, 118, 117. Bill Griver, 273. Jim Pappas, 269. Andrew Havelstead, 285. Brian, okay. 269. 269. Nice donation at the $1,000. 319. 319 at the $1,000 level. Anybody else at the buyer 221? Buyer 221 at the $1,000. Thanks, Bruce. You've been a good supporter here tonight. You betcha. Anybody else? What? Ron Sparks. Okay. Thank you, Ron. And anybody else at the $1,000 level? Okay, we're moving on to the. Oh. Okay. Dennis, okay. But put Dennis down for 1,000. All right. Okay, the $500 level. Anybody at the 500? We'll start right down here. Buyer 386 at the $500 level. Anybody else at the buyer 20? Jay Clark 209 for $500. Katie Carrican, thank you. 130 right here, Coach, and what is the Coach Fist 126. Paul, thank you. 128. Thank you, sir. 120. Thank you, Roger. Ralph, okay. 102. Jesse, yeah. 112. 112 for 2,000. Okay. 104. 104. Thanks, Steve. Anybody else at the $500 level? Anybody else? 108. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, we're moving on to, we're at the 250 level, right?
500 or we're at
Yep, we're at the $250 level. Who would like to donate at the 250? We'll start right down here at the $250 level. Oh, Jerry Lale. Okay, 270. Is that 279? 279, 272, 261. And 361, is that correct? And right down, is that 106? 106, anybody else at the 250? Sean John, 161. 239, thank you. 233, thank you, Matt. At the 233, anybody else here? At the $250 level, anybody else? Okay, and the last level here tonight is the $100 level. Who'd like to donate at the $100 level? Let's everybody get in if you want to donate now. Way in the back there, it is that 188? 188, thank you. Okay, 291, 276, 199, 192, 184 at the $100 level. Is anybody else at the $100 level? Oh, 119. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Susan. 110. Buyer 110. Thank you, Brian. Rector Wall, and anybody else out there at the $100 level? Well, ladies and gentlemen, oh, right there, 109. Thank you, Patty. Peggy, yeah, thank you, Peggy. Appreciate your good support. Anybody else at the $100 level? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been a great supporters here tonight. Give a good round of applause to everybody here. Great support, a great function here tonight, and I'll turn it back over here to Dennis.
Thank you, RL. Thank you so much for donating tonight. You made a huge impact on the student-athlete experience. We're now going to have our last inductee. Jonathan, take it over.
All right, our final inductee tonight has had quite an accomplished professional career after playing football at Central Washington University. Adam Bighill, who started linebacker for the Wildcats from 2007 to 2010, is about to enter his 11th season in the Canadian Football League and his 12th professional season overall this summer as a member of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Over the course of his 4 seasons in a Central uniform, the Montesano native earned some astounding accolades and put up some impressive numbers as a member of the Wildcat defense. He was a first-team NCAA Division II All-American by the American Football Coaches Association and was the Great Northwest Athletic Conference's co-defensive player of the year during his senior season. He totaled 96 tackles, including 16.5 tackles for loss, while forcing 4 fumbles. Prior to that final campaign, he was twice named second-team All-Conference. He competed in the Cactus Bowl Division II All-Star Game in Texas following his senior season, becoming the 13th Wildcat since 2002 to appear in that senior All-Star contest. Above and beyond his on-field accolades and numbers, which included 314 career tackles and 46 tackles for loss, both of which still rank among the top 10 in conference history, was Adam's success in the classroom. He graduated in 4 years with a 3.551 grade point average as a clinical physiology major here at CWU. Following the conclusion of his college career is really where Adam's excellence has taken off. He joined former teammate and 2022 Hall of Famer Mike Riley with the British Columbia Lions in the Canadian Football League, and his impact was immediate on special teams. That role was the foot in the door that Adam needed, as he became a regular part of the Lions defense the following season and nearly broke the 100 tackle plateau in his first full season on defense. Adam spent 6 seasons in Vancouver, winning a Grey Cup championship in his rookie year, and then he tested the National Football League waters. In 2017, he signed with the New Orleans Saints, eventually playing in 3 regular season games and chalking up a special teams tackle before returning north of the border the following year. His return to Canada resulted in another new team as he joined the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That 2018 campaign was another successful one individually, as he earned the second of 3 CFL Most Outstanding Defensive Player awards in his career to date. He and the Blue Bombers added Grey Cup wins in 2019 and 2021, and Adam picked up his 3rd MOP award during the 2021 season. All told, he has been a 7-time West Division All-Star and a 6-time All-CFL All-Star. He is one of 2 players in CFL history with 4 100-plus tackle seasons, and he enters the 2023 season ranking 7th in the history of the league with 817 career defensive tackles. In the off-season, Adam is a financial advisor where he focuses on managing wealth for clients. He, his wife Christina, who was a standout collegiate student athlete in golf at both Eastern Washington and Oregon State, and their 3 kids, AJ, Leah, and Bo, make their home in the Winnipeg area. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our final member of the CWU Athletics Hall of Fame class of 2023, Mr. Adam Bighill.
Right. Oh, well, extremely thankful and an amazing honor to be here in front of you all tonight. And I just want to start with a congrats to Kristen and Carolyn and the 1989 football team, and Patrick and Emma as well. Round of applause for all of them, please. You know, going into my 13th year professional, 12th actual season, COVID canceled the season up there for us. I've really had my head down and my eyes forward to ensure that my continual growth as a player and an athlete is steady. And this is an exceptional time where I can look in the rearview mirror and appreciate some of the accomplishments I've had along the way, and really thank my coaches and my teammates, especially for my times here. And like I said, I've just been so focused on moving forward and trying to become better that you often forget about some of the great things that you've done and the work you put in, because in my mind it's never been good enough. It's always about trying to become better and reach another level. So this is quite special for me tonight. And I definitely didn't do this all by myself. Big thanks to all my family and my family who came here, and especially my dad for believing in me all the way through. He was at every single game, that I played and truly dedicated himself to my success. And just so thankful to be loved by him so much and to really being able to make him so proud. You know, my Uncle Dave is here tonight, and you know, he had me sign a football for him in high school. You know, and I thought it was kind of silly. But he said, you know, this ball is going to be worth a lot of money someday. And, you know, I didn't know whether to believe him or not. And I don't know what that ball could get today, whether it's worth anything or not. But that was the kind of belief that my family had in me, and it was very special that I had that kind of support. And this evening's so special, I get to share this with my family. My amazing wife, Christina, my kids, AJ, Leah, and Bo. And tonight is an extra special night. It is Leah's 6th birthday today. So I love you, baby. And a special thanks to my high school coach, Terry Jensen, for being here tonight. Yes, really surprised. I can see him show up, super happy he's here. You know, he'll tell you that he just tried not to mess anything up with me and just let me be the athlete that I was, and, you know, that I made him look good. And you know, I don't really believe in any of that. You know, I no matter what he says, I have so much respect for you, Terry, for teaching me the game, and most importantly, teaching me how to become a man. And he did that with so many student athletes, and he continue to do that. And as a kid growing up, you know, his passion and commitment for the game and helping others and being so selfless, you know, is truly infectious amongst players. And when you see that kind of commitment from somebody at the top and how much they care and how much effort they put in, it only transpires into the players and the kind of men that you build in the program. And Montesano football has been an amazing program, so much in part because of what Terry and his staff there have done. But I really wanted to have everyone give a round of applause for Terry and his support for amateur football and building young men, much like myself. And I'm very thankful for that. You know, I was an under-recruited kid coming out of high school. I was a small-town guy. You know, obviously I'm not the biggest guy of stature by any means. You know, Washington State came by my school and talked to Terry, said we like him. You know, if he's 2 inches taller, we give him a full ride. And, you know, I wish I could have told the scouts I'd, you know, put stilts on or something to play for him. I don't know. You know, but, you know, Terry told him, you know, like, you guys are measuring the wrong thing. You're not measuring his heart and what he's willing to do to be the best and really, you know, help your football team win. And you know, but at the end of the day, I had a great opportunity to come here to Central and to create a legacy for myself. And I'm so thankful for that. And, you know, as a quick story coming into here as a freshman and being able to play amongst so many great players, I came in as a safety. Or they didn't quite know where I was going to play yet. 4 days in the camp, I've been playing safety. There were several injuries at linebacker, and they needed to bring me down to fill a spot just so we could practice for the most part and have someone play the position. And I remember the first day, they told me that night, the next day we go into meetings before practice, and they have a linebacker test. And this test was to drop every single player on the defense and drop their responsibility, what they do, where they go, and a bunch of different boxes and different calls. And coming out of that test, I learned that I had the second best score out of anybody in the linebacker room, just behind Buddy Wood, who had 100% on the test because he's Buddy Wood. And he's an all-star, you know, CFL all-time, Wildcat all-time player. And for me to get the second best score as a true freshman coming in 4 days in the training camp, I think spoke volumes about my commitment, my seriousness about what I was doing there, which eventually led to, you know, the coaching staff having belief in me to playing as a true freshman and coming out and being able to start my career right away and make an impact and help us win. So, I thought that was a pretty defining moment for when opportunity knocked that I was able to deliver. And like I said, fortunate and thankful to be able to play with so many amazing players and all-time Wildcats. You heard Mike Riley, who was inducted, I think, last year. I played with Mike here, played with Mike in the CFL, played against Mike in the CFL. Got a few sacks and picks off of him. You can rub it in on him if you see him. But one of the best all times, and guys like Jared Bronson, Johnny Spivak, Mitch Reffett, Buddy Wood, I already said his name, and to name a few. But then there's some that are here today in attendance, and then I do want to say their names: Matt Snell, Chris James, Tyrell Nielsen, Mike Reno, and Chris Rohrbach, I think, is here as well. Thank you. It means a lot for you guys to be here to support me, and so many good times, and just so thankful they're here, and the friendship and the brotherhood. You heard that from the '89 team, that stuff lasts forever. You can pick up where you left off at any point in time, and that's absolutely true. And without a doubt, the things I remember the most about my time here at Central is really my times with the guys I spent that were in that locker room. The times we spent on the field, off the field, together. Those are the times. That's really what you remember most, more than the scores, more than anything else. Is really the time and the memories you create with the guys. I remember Mike Riley getting drafted in the NFL, and he did an interview, and I remember the reporter asked him, "Was there any other players on this team that you think might be able to play at the next level someday?" And not expecting to see my name in that article, Mike had put my name in that article. And I thought it was just an amazing vote of confidence from such an amazing player, where I was just a freshman and came in and got the, great Mike Riley's attention to be able to put my name down in an article. And it was always my goal to play the next level, but, for other people to be recognizing that, at that early that I had the potential was really special to me. Obviously I mentioned my success doesn't come from my height, doesn't come from my weight, doesn't come from my wingspan. As Terry mentioned, it comes from my heart and my willingness to compete and be the best. And I was really been willing to outwork anybody, and that's really how I've lived my life. I live by this saying that, outwork your competition, so there is none. And I really felt like if I outworked somebody, that I deserved the opportunity to win, and had the opportunity, the absolute chance to win. And that's something I was always focused on. Just work harder than anybody else and let the chips fall where they may, and knowing that more often than not they'd be falling into my hands. So whether it was in high school, college, or my first pro camp, I always was focused on taking every advantage of every single opportunity that came my way, because I've been preparing for it my whole life. So in all, it's been amazing coming back to Central this weekend and seeing some of the guys and catching up. And, I got to call some plays today in the spring game, which was a lot of fun. Because I do think, like a defensive coordinator, I had a ton of fun out there with Coach, getting the headset on, getting the playbook, and calling some plays. And, the defense sure made me look good today, I tell you that. But, they really did. Yeah, they really did. I had to start with a corner blitz, bring some heat right off the top, establish, the aggressiveness early. But, man, that was fun. But, what the impression is that overall, it was great seeing that football here and Wildcat athletics in general, still seeing some of the same coaches and amazing success across the board, that Central is still in amazing hands, and that great to see so much new development and money going into furthering Central's rich legacy. So that's something I'm very proud to see. And really, in terms of ensuring legacy, we just, raised the paddle for, scholarships. And, I did want to take this opportunity to, I'm chatting with Dennis and just, as alum and supporters of Central, we do have a responsibility to ensure that the legacy continues. And obviously donations are a huge part of that. And you heard this guy's name before tonight, and I think you're going to hear from him a lot more. And that's Chris James. Yeah, Chris James, give him a round of applause on the board. I told you I was going to give you the plug. If there was an award for like a Wildcat award, like what it means to be a Wildcat, like Chris James would be front runner, first in line for that award. And that is a huge, huge vote of confidence and respect from me. When I came in as a freshman and saw the energy and the likes of passion from a guy like this, and still to this day seeing him with the same kind of passion and much of it bleeding through Central in Crimson and Black, I mean, it's so amazing. So, he is in charge of outreach now here at Central. So be expecting a phone call from him and know that he truly is a bridge to this organization and this facility, and is full of passion and is the right person to be talking to, and is a great vote of confidence for everything that we're looking to continue to build here. So when you get a call from Chris, answer the call and have a great conversation. He's a great guy. Get to know him. So that's awesome. And ultimately, I really hope that my story helps inspire my own kids to be the best they can be, but also all kids out there to be the best they can be. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't always take the biggest, the strongest, the fastest. It takes the ones who want it the most. And I think my story highlights that quite effectively. And I want to see everyone reach their full potential and let everyone know that anything is possible. So being able to coach my kids now and watch their activities sure puts a smile on my face. And being a father and leading my squad here, it really is probably my biggest and most proud achievement that I've had, and I've been able to do a lot of cool things in my life and receive some amazing awards. But this truly does give me the most joy, and so very, very thankful and proud of them. And thanks to everyone out there who has supported me, followed me, cheered me on, stayed in touch, messaged me. Just showed your appreciation. It doesn't go unnoticed. I really do appreciate it. It's very, very special to me, and that's all I have for you guys. Go Cats.
Well, that concludes tonight's Central Washington University Athletics Hall of Fame ceremony. Congratulations to Kristen Willis-Davis, Carolyn Mires-Pemberton, Adam Bighill, and the 1989 football team on their inductions into the Hall as the class of 2023. Thank you for joining us. We ask that our inductees stay around for photos, and we hope that you all travel safely as you return home. Go Wildcats!